Well, the Asia Region Funds Passport is an APEC initiative. So it's a regional initiative. Australia's part of APEC. It's kind of very exciting because I can't think of another regional initiative that sort of involves asset management or financial services. And the participating economies in the Funds Passport, and there are 5 of those: Japan, which makes this globally relevant, Korea, Thailand, Australia and New Zealand. Those 5 participating economies have come together and effectively created an equivalent of the European UCITS model, a kind of connecting collaborative regime designed to facilitate cross-border capital raising by fund managers in participating economies, raising capital from retail investors in other participating economies. So it's really trying to compete with European UCITS, but it's going to be our version of it, and it will evolve over time. So it's a very, very exciting initiative. Well, the opportunities are for an Australian fund manager. You are suddenly able to access an amazingly large market that you couldn't really readily access before. And you know, really the same goes for any fund manager in any of the participating economies. For example, I'm aware that there are Japanese asset managers that are very keen to take advantage of the Funds Passport and have their products distributed to Australian investors. So, I mean, opening up markets like that is really, really exciting. I don't think there's anything that can derail it unless, you know, something blows up, but there's a lot of care and attention being paid to make sure that this pilot is a success. And so, for example, there's a dry run that is currently being, discussed to make sure that all the sort of wrinkles are ironed out in the application process. And that's got a lot of industry participating in each of the economies and the regulators participating. So, we really want this to work. And like UCITS, UCITS is up to version 6 or 7. We will have our own, ARFP version 1, 2, 3 over time. So it'll evolve over time. A very important threshold piece of work that needs to be done by any asset manager in a participating economy, whether, for example, Australian asset manager or Japanese, is they've actually got to bed down their supply chain before they actually make application for passporting in the appropriate jurisdiction. And so by that I mean, when, for example, the Australian manager wants to sell their product in Japan, they need to actually make sure they've got a relationship with appropriate Japanese distribution. And not only that, Japanese legal advisors and translators, because the Australian manager actually has to produce a Japanese conforming retail disclosure document. And so they're not produced overnight. They need, specialist input and, a local distributor with the right regulation to do the distribution in Japan. So correspondingly, the Japanese asset manager needs the same sort of support and supply chain at the Australian end when they want to market a product into this market, and so it goes. And the other important threshold issue is you've got to work out as a fund manager, do I have an investment fund product that I can actually successfully sell in any of the other participating economies? These reforms are just another example of Australia taking steps to become a financial centre in the Asian time zone. That's a journey. We are definitely well down the pathway, but we've got a long way to go, I think. And it's one of those maintain the rage, I think, initiatives. You can't say I've done it and I'm there now, but it's great to see. It's got bipartisan support. The MIT withholding tax concession, which is attracting foreign capital, is another example, and there are others. So I think it will absolutely help to raise our profile in the region and the world, and our competitiveness as well.